Yes, I'm afraid it's true, and I'm really sorry. After 13 years of making Wheeler Dealers, I'm now going to be leaving the show. Wheeler Dealers is a great car show, reportedly the biggest on the planet at the moment. It is broadcast in about 220 territories around the globe, and apparently has several hundred million viewers worldwide.
Wheeler Dealers has been more than a car show. It's been a journey through time, stories, and personalities that turned rusty wrecks into treasures. But over the years, faces have come and gone, and each one left behind a mark that fans never forgot. So, who were the ones who left the show too soon? Join us as we count down 10 Wheeler Dealers members who tragically passed away. Number 10. Upholstery. Dave. Every great restoration is more than just an engine and shiny paintwork. It's about the details, even the littlest. And that's where Dave came in. Known affectionately by fans as Upholstery Dave, he was the man responsible for transforming battered and torn car seats into interiors that looked brand new. His first appearance on the show was around 2004, when Mike and the other mechanics needed someone to restore and bring life back into every car. He got the job done, and since then, Dave has begun to show up as a specialist craftsman. Dave may not have shared a lot of screen time, but fans knew who to thank when they spotted a luxurious interior. But the interiors weren't just luxurious. Dave ensured that they were also very unique and comfortable. Fans still say that they pause old episodes just to admire the before and after shots of Dave's upholstery work. However, due to unknown reasons, Upholstery Dave is not part of the current lineup. Despite that, he would always be missed and remembered as the man who stitched for the Wheeler Dealers. If Dave made the cars beautiful on the inside, who gave them their shine on the outside? Number 9. Sean the Painter. No matter how well a car runs, if it doesn't look the part, it's incomplete. That's where Sean the Painter stepped in. Known for his meticulous attention to detail, Sean's coats of paint were all about breathing new life into tired old shells. Sean became part of the Wheeler Dealers family early in the UK seasons, first appearing around the mid-2000s when Mike Brewer and Ed China needed a trusted hand to handle paint jobs that demanded perfection. He wasn't on screen as often as Mike or Ed, but fans came to respect him for turning rusted and faded exteriors into glossy masterpieces that looked like they belonged in a showroom. But then, slowly, fans began to notice that Sean's familiar face began appearing less often. They began to panic, but soon they found out the real reason. It was about the growth of Wheeler Dealers. As the show moved locations and evolved in format, Sean could not move with them as much. Although he still features, Sean has slowly stepped out of the spotlight. But while Sean gave old shells new life, what about the people who gave the show its heart through their stories? Number 8. Guest collectors. Not every Wheeler Dealers memory came from the workshop. Some of the most unforgettable moments came from the sellers. That is, the everyday people who brought their cars and their stories to the show. One collector, in particular, an elderly gentleman, once sold Mike and Ed a car he had owned for decades. For him, it wasn't just a machine, it was a part of his life, filled with memories of road trips, family moments, and years of dedication. When he handed over the keys, it felt like he was entrusting them with a piece of himself. That's what made Wheeler Dealers different from other car shows. It wasn't just about the profit margins or technical fixes. It was about the interactions with every seller who appeared and brought with them laughter and nostalgia. Fans still remember those heartfelt exchanges, and even though many of these collectors have since passed away, those episodes captured their passion forever. But what about the lesser-known mechanics who briefly stepped into the spotlight? Number 7. Paul Brackley. When Wheeler Dealers Trading Up aired in 2013, it was an experiment to see if Mike Brewer could take on the world market, trading cars across countries to build bigger and better deals. But Mike wasn't alone. By his side was mechanic Paul Brackley, a man whose expertise brought credibility to the spin-off. Paul wasn't a flashy personality. Instead, he relied on skill and patience to ensure each trade-up car wasn't just good enough to sell, but something truly worth owning. What made Paul special was his humility. He didn't try to steal the spotlight from Mike, nor did he treat the work as just another job. He approached each car with care, as if it were his own, and fans appreciated that. Unfortunately, trading up was short-lived, and so Paul Brackley's time was up. Despite how short his time was, Paul left fans with respect for his skill and appreciation for his professionalism. He may not have had the fame of the main lineup, but his contributions deserve to be remembered. And speaking of fresh faces, who came along to bring humor and spark to the Wheeler Dealers family? Number 6. Paul Cowland. If Mike Brewer was the engine of Wheeler Dealers' dream car, then Paul Cowland was the spark that kept it exciting. Paul brought a different kind of energy to the Wheeler Dealers family. His witty humor and genuine love of cars made his chemistry with Mike instant. While Mike handled the deals with his trademark intensity, Paul lightened the mood with charm and humor. Together, they made Dream Car feel fresh and fun. Paul's role was unique. He wasn't there to simply repair or resell. He was there to inspire. The concept of Dream Car was about helping people achieve their automotive dreams, and Paul embraced that with heart. Fans remember him for the way he connected with guests, listening to their stories and cheering them on as their dreams came to life. Though his time with Wheeler Dealers was brief, Paul Cowland's personality shone bright. His episodes remain a favorite among fans who loved seeing a different side of Mike Brewer and a new voice in the Wheeler Dealers story. But what about the crossover guest who blended cars with antiques and history? Number 5. Drew Pritchard. Though Drew Pritchard is best known for Salvage Hunters,
they say all good things must come to an end, and the next series of Salvage Hunters, which we shot last year and airs in the autumn.
His crossover with Mike Brewer brought a new flavor to Wheeler Dealers related specials. Drew had an antiques dealer's eye for spotting value where others saw only junk. His appearances showed viewers that cars, much like antiques, carry history and hidden worth that goes beyond money. When he appeared alongside Mike, it was a meeting of two deal makers with the same passion for uncovering treasures, but with very different styles. Fans loved Drew's perspective. While Mike focused on the numbers, like what it cost or what it could sell for, Drew often highlighted character and history. That dynamic created some unforgettable television. Though Drew wasn't a core Wheeler Dealers host, his involvement added depth and reminded fans that the automotive world overlaps with so many other communities of collectors and enthusiasts. Unfortunately, Drew didn't last so long on the show and never became a permanent Wheeler Dealers world. This development broke fans. To this day, many still ask what would have happened if Drew had joined the Wheeler Dealers lineup permanently. His brief time with the show left an impression that's impossible to forget. And when it came time to rebuild the core team, who stepped up to prove he wasn't just a replacement, but a true rebuilder of faith? Number 4. Mark Elvis Priestley. When Aunt Anstead left, fans worried the magic of Wheeler Dealers might be gone forever. Then came Mark Elvis Priestley, a former Formula One mechanic with McLaren,
and just went on to deliver some, incredible performances. I think still to this day,
Elvis brought with him a wealth of high-level engineering knowledge and an ability to stay calm under pressure. From the moment he appeared, it was clear Elvis wasn't trying to copy anyone. He wasn't Ed, and he wasn't Ant. He was just himself, focused and passionate about doing the job right. While Mike buzzed with energy and negotiation tactics, Elvis balanced things out with determination. His calm, measured approach reassured fans who were skeptical after so many cast changes. fans quickly warmed to his authenticity. Every nut tightened, every system checked, felt like it was done with care and pride. For many viewers, Elvis restored faith in the show after a period of uncertainty, and he reminded everyone that Wheeler Dealers wasn't about drama, but about craftsmanship. Elvis continues to build his legacy on the show, and he'll be remembered as the man who brought stability and focus when the show needed it most. But before Elvis, there was another man who took on the impossible task of following in Ed China's footsteps. Who was he? Number 3. Ant Anstead. When Ed China left Wheeler Dealers, the fan base was devastated. How could anyone replace him? Then Ant Anstead walked into the garage in 2017, and with his deep knowledge and background as both a craftsman and a designer, he surprised fans. At first, the criticism was harsh, but slowly, his positivity and creative approach to car building won people over. Ant didn't just fix cars, he elevated them and gave each restoration an artistic touch. Fans grew to admire his ability to explain complex processes in a way anyone could understand. He had a talent for making viewers feel like they were right there with him, learning every step of the way. Sadly, his time on the show was short-lived. After just 3 seasons, Ant stepped away to focus on family and personal projects. Yet his episodes remain fan favorites, celebrated for their heart and attention to detail. Though his Wheeler Dealers journey ended too soon, Ant Anstead left behind a legacy that proved he didn't have to replace Ed. He simply had to be Ant. But what about the man whose shoes seemed impossible to fill in the first place? Number 2. Ed China. For many fans, Wheeler Dealers will always mean Mike and Ed. Standing tall in the garage, with his calm voice and brilliant mind, Ed China was more than just a mechanic. He was the soul of the workshop. Every restoration felt like a masterclass in engineering, explained with patience and passion. Ed made viewers believe that they too could pick up a wrench and bring an old car back to life. What made Ed unforgettable was his integrity. As the show grew, deadlines got tighter, and the pressure to produce more episodes increased. Ed never compromised on quality. For him, it was never about how fast a build could be done or how much profit could be made. It was about doing things right. When Ed left in 2017, it felt like the end of an era. Fans mourned the loss, and the garage seemed silent without him. Yet his influence still lingers. Rewatching his episodes is like revisiting a golden age of the show, when the joy of making something beautiful mattered most. Ed's departure was heartbreaking, but his legacy as the gentle giant of Wheeler Dealers remains untouchable. And through it all, who was the man at the center, carrying the show no matter the changes or challenges? Number 1. Mike Brewer. Love him or criticize him, Mike Brewer is the heartbeat of Wheeler Dealers. Since 2003, he's been the constant presence, the deal-maker, and the voice of the show. While others came and went, Mike stayed, carrying the weight of the brand and pushing it forward through every challenge. Born into a family of car lovers, Mike brought his father's passion for restoration into every negotiation and every sale. His fiery energy and relentless drive turned the show from a niche UK series into a global hit. But his journey hasn't been easy. He's faced backlash from fans, especially after Ed's departure, and even personal attacks against his family. Yet, through it all, he never walked away. For Mike, Wheeler Dealers is more than television. It's his life's work, and he was consistently putting in all he had. And then disaster struck. In 2022, Mike developed a stroke that traumatized people. But despite health struggles, Mike continues to represent the resilience of the show. After all, without him, Wheeler Dealers simply wouldn't exist, and that's why he stands at number 1. Which of these Wheeler Dealers members do you remember most? And whose story surprised you the most? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, Click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it. You will enjoy